and thank you for joining us here on Channels Television. You're watching Newsroom series. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Today, our focus is on the Southwest region. But first, our top stories. We start off outside our shores, where Andy Burnham has officially taken office as the 7th UK Prime Minister in a decade, following the formal transfer of power from Keir Starmer at Buckingham Palace. Mr. Burnham's primary focus centers on restoring political stability, easing the cost of living crisis, and offering economic relief to households across the country. The former mayor of Greater Manchester returned to Parliament via a by-election before securing the Labour Party leadership following Mr. Starmer's resignation. His administration aims to emphasize regional devolution, economic growth, and help address pressing public service needs.
I have accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government. In doing so, I am acutely conscious that I am the 6th person in the last 10 years to walk up this street. The 7th Prime Minister since 2016, making this a moment for reflection and new resolution. It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game and rise to the new challenge. Britain needs to show the world that we can regain our stability once again, and that is our challenge, to make politics work, to make it work better. I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you, and I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough, and we need to be better. We will be.
The Lagos State Pension Commission has urged public servants to start planning for retirement right from the outset of their careers rather than wait until they are about to leave service. Now, the Commission said early retirement planning, coupled with regular updates of personal and employment records with pension fund administrators, remain the only way to ensure prompt and seamless payment of retirement benefits under the contributory pension scheme. The Director General of the Lagos State Pension Commission, Mr. Babalala Obilano, made this known at a pre-retirement sensitization program at Alausa in Ikeja.
Lagos State public servants converge on Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, Alausa, Ikeja, for a pre-retirement documentation sensitization program, and it aimed at equipping workers with the knowledge and practical guidance needed for a seamless processing of retirement benefits.
Where there's an error, we correct it from there.
Participants from various ministries are exposed to necessary retirement documentation and the importance of maintaining accurate records with the pension fund administrators.
You need to go to your PFA for you to give interest for you so that the money will be growing. But for the period you didn't go to your PFA, it's with the state government. There's no return of investment. So that's why it's very important for us to check our pay slips every month. Check your pay slip, check the certificate of registration which your PFA gave to you, compare the pin on your pay slip and on the certificate.
You have a lump sum, like what Mr. Larry said, and after getting a lump sum, you have two choices. Either you go for program withdrawal or you go for what and leave.
The Director General of LASPEC says many of the delays experienced during retirement benefit processing stem from incomplete documentation and failure to keep records updated.
The contributory pension scheme was introduced to ensure that every public servant enjoys financial security after retirement through a sustainable, transparent, and well-managed pension system. Retirement planning should therefore not begin a few months before disengagement from service. Rather, it is an ongoing process that requires informed decision-making and proactive actions throughout your career.
The State Head of Service, who is represented by the Permanent Secretary, Office of Public Service, says that the periodic sensitization program also serves as a powerful tool for protecting workers' retirement rights.
Exercise always provides opportunities for public servants to update their information, relevant commissions, and ensure necessary documentation by Ogun State Pension Commission, LASPEC, as well as respective pension administrators, in order to have up-to-date information that will ease processing of your retirement benefits. If you think, just think, that maybe there's something wrong somewhere, maybe I need to go check, this is the time to do this.
Lagos State Pension Commission reaffirms its commitment to ensuring that every Lagos State public servant transitions into retirement with confidence, dignity, and financially secured.
It's a race against time as Ondo State Police Command has launched a manhunt for 3 armed men who allegedly attacked a female motorist along the Ondo-Ileoluji Road in an attempted robbery, raising fresh concerns over security on the busy highway. The incident occurred on Sunday evening at Otaosan area where the victim, Mrs. Adebusoye Atinuke, was reportedly driving when the assailants emerged and opened fire on her vehicle in a bid to force her to stop. The police said the attack was an apparent attempt to rob the motorist, but the suspects failed in their mission after the victim displayed courage and managed to drive away unharmed. Spokesperson for the Ondo State Police Command said operatives swiftly responded to a distress report and immediately commenced an intensive combing of the surrounding bushes in search of the fleeing gunmen. The command adds that the suspect escaped into a nearby forest while investigations had been intensified to identify, track, and arrest those responsible for the attack. The Managing Director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, Mr. Kayode Okpefa, has reaffirmed the corporation's commitment to strengthening collaboration with the Nigeria Police and other security agencies to protect railway assets, describing the nation's railway infrastructure as critical national assets that must be safeguarded against vandalism. Mr. Okpefa made this known during a courtesy visit to the Ondo State Commissioner of Police, Olugbenga Abimbola, at the command headquarters Eleyele in Ibadan. Now, the NRC Managing Director, who was accompanied by the Commissioner of Police, Nigeria Railway Police Command, Lasisi Titilola, said the corporation will continue to work closely with the security agencies.
Our police are ready, the civil defense are ready, the NRC security system is intact. There's a full-fledged police command, just like life in many, and we'll continue. We will not give up. These are national assets, like we say, they are critical, they are not scraps. Now, every rail material taken off is a generation lost. Exactly. Some of these metals were laid in just about the time Nigeria was created. And some people don't see any other thing. They will call on the foundries, all of them, the big ones. They cannot be exonerated, even though no complete evidence for now. But definitely, all this material ends up in some of them.
Mr. Okpefa commended the Oyo State Police Command and the Nigeria Railway Police Command for their professionalism, vigilance, and prompt response, which recently led to the arrest of 3 suspected railway vandals and the recovery of stolen railway materials valued at about 200 million naira. These suspects were apprehended during an intelligence-led operation while allegedly transporting vandalized railway materials from Niger State to Lagos.
To appreciate the Oyo Police Command and the Commissioner of Police for the professionalism exhibited in this particular arrest. Not only did they get the truck, they got some people, some suspects, and will soon be in court to prosecute this particular case. Also, to see the synergy between different police commands. We have seen this in many of the police commands where we have had this kind of issue. Very good cooperation between our own police command and the various state commands. And also to say that the police officers refused all entities to compromise on these and many other cases. And we are very happy to showcase this.
1,000 members of the Ogun State Security Network Agency, popularly known as Amotekun, have been graduated to bolster security architecture of the state, especially at the grassroots areas. Now, at the passing out parade held at the International Stadium in Shagamu area, Governor Dakwa Abiodun, represented by the Ogun State Head of Service, Salah Olariwaju, admonishes officers to promote public confidence, uphold the rule of law in the discharge of their assigned duties at all times. Batch F trainees of the Ogun State Security Network Agency, Amotekun, are graduating after 2 weeks of rigorous mental and tactical training. All 1,000 graduates received a pass mark in character and service, a criteria that qualifies them to provide the much-needed security at the grassroots in the state. Addressing the graduates, the Corps Commandant, retired Brigadier General Alade Adedigba, asked them to be dedicated, uphold fundamental human rights of residents and the rule of law in the discharge of their duties.
To our graduating Batch F operatives, I congratulate you for the successful completion of your training and enjoin you to work harmoniously with other security agencies. Respect the rights and dignity of every citizen. Uphold the rule of law and remain committed to the protection of lives and property with fairness, compassion, and patriotism.
The State Head of Service, who represented the Governor, highlights the imperatives of security for development.
This ceremony is another significant milestone in our collective determination to ensure that Ogun State remains one of the safest places to live, to work, and to invest. Security remains the bedrock upon which sustainable development thrives. Without peace and security, economic growth, social progress, and human development cannot be fully realized.
While tasking the officers in cooperation with other security agencies, he, however, promises to strengthen the state security architecture through modern security equipment for service delivery.
This administration has remained unwavering in its commitment to providing the necessary support, logistics, training, and welfare required to enable our security agencies discharge their responsibilities effectively. This commitment aligns with our administration's vision of building our future together and under the Ishaya agenda, where every resident can live and pursue legitimate endeavors in a peaceful and security environment.
The event was attended by members of sister security agencies, traditional rulers, members of the State Executive Council, instructors, among other distinguished personalities. We go on the break, and when we come back on Newsroom series, Afe Babalola University Ado-Ekiti emerges Nigeria's best for 5th consecutive year. Details after this. Join us again. Welcome back. Let's talk education now. Afe Babalola University Ado-Ekiti has recorded another major milestone on the global academic stage, emerging as the #1 university in Nigeria for the 5th consecutive year, 2nd in Africa, and 72nd in the world in the 2026 Times Higher Education Sustainability Impact Rankings. The founder of the university, Ari Afe Babalola, a senior advocate of Nigeria, represented by its Vice Chancellor, announced the feat while addressing journalists at the institution, describing the achievement as a testament to the university's unwavering commitment to excellence, innovation, research, quality education, and sustainable development. According to the VC, the latest rankings, released on June the 24th this year, placed the university among the world's leading institutions based on their contributions to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs.
I stand before you today with profound gratitude to God Almighty and with deepest appreciation to our founder and his amiable wife to announce that Afeba Balola University has now been ranked #1 university in Nigeria for 5 consecutive years, since 2022 to 2026. Second in Africa, and 72 the 2026 Times Higher Education Sustainability Impact Ratings out of 1,646 participating universities of 90.8%, and Sustainable Development Goals as the 84th position in 2025 to 72nd in 2026.
Medical experts say better attention must be given to bone health across Nigeria to help reduce the uncomfortable growth of osteoporosis as a silent bone disease. They made the call in Ibadan, Ondo State at the inaugural meeting of the Osteoporosis Care Network, where they advocated increased public awareness, routine screening, multidisciplinary management, and stronger government policies to reduce the burden of osteoporosis and its complications.
Osteoporosis refers to a condition where bones become weak and brittle, causing them to break easily from minor falls or bumps. Daily activities, exertion, stress, and unhealthy eating and living habits all take their toll on human health, and the bone is not immune from the devastating effects. Despite these harsh realities, there are few policies in place for holistic bone health in Nigeria. And this led a group of experts to establish the Osteoporosis Care Network, which participants note represents a significant step towards building a coordinated national response through advocacy, research, professional education, and multidisciplinary collaboration. Delivering the keynote address, orthopedic surgeon and convener Professor Temitope Alonge describes osteoporosis as one of the country's most neglected, non-communicable diseases despite its devastating health, social, and economic consequences.
Some refer to osteoporosis as a skeletal failure as opposed to skeletal lack. The reason is that the volume of the bone looks the same, but the content is different. So it is the lack of content which has to do with mass and density as opposed to the volume. Some refer to osteoporosis as a chronic progressive bone disease, and that's supposed to connote some kind of disaster if you do not do anything about it.
He notes that although more than 200 million people worldwide are estimated to be living with osteoporosis, awareness in Nigeria remains poor, with many fragility fractures wrongly attributed to old age, leading to delayed diagnosis and treatment.
Today we are gathered as medical experts to look at how to prevent this particular disease that is ravaging the older persons. But in fact, we also know that some younger persons who have some diseases of endocrine origin can also develop this problem even when they are younger. So we're looking at ways of harnessing our information, our expertise to provide some information about the prevention of this particular disease.
Other experts in the field stress the importance of physical activity as the most effective preventive measure against osteoporosis.
The religious leaders will do us well if we collaborate with them. And then the world body is looking at young people, school health. That is another area we can look into. Like she is doing in nutrition, primary school, secondary school, you will be surprised that ideally in the university, if you're in the UK or in the US, a primary school child will tell you a lot about diabetes, will tell you a lot about cardiovascular disease. But in the university, it's only in medical school that you will hear people know about this.
The multidisciplinary group also calls for government intervention to drive policies that can maximize proper care protocols to reduce the scourge of osteoporosis.
If we come up with documents, okay, this is it, this is osteoporosis. We've done studies, this is what we found, and this is our recommendation. If we don't have political will, it will not be done. It can't be, it will just be in our local environment.
Healthy eating habits have been identified as a critical mass in the protocols to be embraced by individuals.
I was so shocked the day I was told that there's prebiotics inside fufu. I said, but I did not know. So eating healthy is not expensive. It depends on the information you have to use.
The network is expected to promote public awareness, develop evidence-based treatment guidelines, encourage early diagnosis, support healthcare professionals, and advocate improved access to quality bone health services across Nigeria. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
Some aggrieved members of the transport unions in Ogun State have staged a peaceful protest against the current leadership of the union in the state. The protesters, who are fractional members of the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, stormed major streets of Oshogbo, the state capital, on Monday morning. Now, with many placards having various inscriptions to express their grievances, the protesters accused the leadership of the RTEAN in the state of staging several attacks on their members. The transporters are appealing to the state government and the security agencies to intervene and put an end to the crisis.
We are here today to let the good people of Osun State know that the present government are partisan. They are very partisan. We that are not belong to their party, we are suffering from this government under the leadership of our state chairman, Comrade Jalili Abioye of Road Transport Employer. We don't want him again.
The power motor power belongs to local government, which we are the ones recognized to be the park, not the only fashion. It's unfair to us. Some of our members are killed, so our names. Some of our vehicles have been burnt. The position of the agreement is that we are to return to our motor parks because it belongs to us, not only.
Now, in spite of the presence of operatives of the Nigeria Police as well as the National Security and Civil Defense Corps, a member of one of the civil society organizations in the state also spoke on the situation at hand.
We are here this morning to register our displayer to tell the world that we are not fine with happenings across the state of Osun. We are not fine with the way parks and garages are being taken over by hoodlums.
The construction sector and governments at all levels need to urgently adopt crime prevention through environmental design as part of efforts to tackle Nigeria's worsening insecurity. Arguing that the design of buildings and infrastructure can help prevent crime before it occurs, the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, Lagos State chapter, made the call while identifying practical ways the construction industry can support the government in addressing insecurity.
Stakeholders in the built environment, government officials and security professionals have gathered here to discuss issues affecting the sector with a focus on strengthening collaboration and promoting sustainable development. They're here for the 18th Distinguished Lecture Series of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors with the theme Security and Economic Development, evaluating the role and effects of the construction sector in addressing Nigeria's insecurities. Chairman of the NIQS Lagos chapter, Mr. Rilwan Balogun, warns against corruption in project delivery as compromises in construction standards he believes could worsen insecurity.
We are living in a period where insecurity is not just a security challenge. It is an economic challenge. It is a development challenge. When roads are unsafe,
materials cannot move, and project costs rise. When communities lack schools, hospitals, and decent housing, frustration grows. When projects are abandoned due to instability, jobs are lost and hope diminishes. The construction sector sits at the center of all of this. We build the roads, the hospitals, the schools, the housing, and the critical infrastructure that creates opportunities and restore dignity.
Delivering the keynote address on behalf of the Managing Director of Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited, Dr. Kabiru Adamu, Pamela Ogbonta urges construction professionals to embrace crime prevention through environmental design, which is also known as CPTED, as a national security strategy.
The theme you have chosen, security and economic development, evaluating the role and effect of the construction sector in addressing Nigeria's insecurity, is not merely a lecture topic, please. It is a challenge to your profession, a challenge to policymakers, and I hope a challenge that would produce the kind of concrete commitment that can move from a conference hall in Lagos to the communities in Zamfara, Borno, Oyo, Kwara, and beyond, where insecurity continues to ravage lives and livelihood.
Other speakers, including the Institute's Deputy National President, say construction and security are inseparable.
We need to have a structure where the money is managed judiciously. So when monies are managed judiciously, it means that there will be more construction projects. It means that people would have infrastructure. And when people have infrastructure, it affects the economy. It means that there will be more jobs. You understand what I'm saying? It means that there will be more jobs for everyone to do. So when there are more jobs, there will be less criminality. Because as we all know, one of the vices of insecurity is poverty.
The consensus here is that investments in the construction or the built environment could reduce insecurity by creating jobs and stimulating local economies.
And that's a wrap on Newsroom series with our focus on the Southwest region today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun.